Okay, the last lesson in 9b is involving a sum of a finite geometric series. So on the formula sheet for the regions, they give you all of these formulas. You can find them on the links I sent you, or just look up an old Regents exam. So here's the geometric series formula, where you're adding up all the terms. Here's a geometric sequence, and here's an arithmetic sequence. So they only give you those three. And that's the rest of them. It's a good thing they give you volume of a prism, all these volume formulas, because they are not on the exam, nor is a circle, nor is a parallelogram, nor is a triangle. So thank you for all of those, New York State, for the Algebra 2. Okay, so geometric series means you're adding these, because that's a geometric sequence. And it turns out that the formula is this. A1 r to the k minus 1, if you add all these up. But that's not how they write the formula. They say it's this. R to the n over 1 minus r. So if I plug in those values, it'll sum it up for me. And this makes sense, because if a is 3, like let's say a1 is 3 and r is 2, that means 3 times 2 is 6, times 2 is 12. So 3, 6, 12. So that's just one way to write it. Okay, find the sum of the series. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So n is 9. R is, this is geometric because it's going by a multiple. So just do -8 divided by 16. So I get -1/2. So the formula, Sn is A1 r to the n, 1 minus r. So A1 is 16, r 9, 1 minus r. So then just use your calculator. 16 minus 16 parentheses -0.5 to the 9, and then divide that by 1 plus 1/2, or 1 minus -1/2. Math frac if you can. 171 over 16. Find the sum of this geometric series. Well, I'm going by 2's. So 3, 6, 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 24 times 2 is 48. Then 96. 96 times 2 is 192. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And A1 is 3. So 3 minus 3. R is 2 to the 7. 1 minus R is 2. So if we do that in the, wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So 3 minus 3, 2 to the 7. I get 381. So if I add all those up, I get 381. Find the sum of this geo. This looks really hard, but it's not. That's A1. So to find R, do this term divided by that term. 40, 1.005 over 40, that's R. So A1 minus A1R to the, so I'm going to have first term, second term, third term. See, this is really 40 to the 1.005 to the 0. So we got to be careful here. So I have one of these terms, 2, 3. So it's always one less, 10. It'll end up being 10. 10 total terms. And then it's 1 minus R, 1.005. So 40 minus 40, parentheses 1.005 to the 10, divided by 1 minus 1.005. Bam. Math frac. Nope, the fraction's too big. So just write this. Is she saying good job to me or good job to Hudson? Probably Hudson. All right, there we go. Consider this geometric sequence. The explicit formula for a geosequence is an a1 rn minus 1. So an equals a1, so divide it, that's 3 to the n minus 1, and use that formula to write a sum of the series in summation notation. So 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, this. That's it. Determine the sum of the geoseries with 8 terms, whose first term is 3, and whose common ratio is 4. So I'm going to use this sort of formula maybe to set it up first. First term is 3, common ratio is 4. So that's the explicit form. And then I'm going to sum 8 of those terms up. All right. So you could do this in the calculator. Alpha window, summation, x equals 1 to 8. So I'm going to have 3 times 4 to the n minus 1. 65535. Wait a minute, something doesn't seem right. Let me pull that 3 out. 1 to the 8, 4 to the n minus 1. Let's just do that. Shoot. Yeah, all right, 65535. Or you could use this. A1, the first term would be, if I plug in 1, it's going to be 3. So A1 minus A1R to the n, 8 over 1 minus R. So if you multiply that, you still get 65535. All right, any questions? Any questions? Anybody? Any hands? Any hands? Quiet class today. Find the sum of this series. All right, well, if you work it out, 6, 12, 24, 48, 7, 68, it turns out there's 8 terms. So 6 minus 6, 2 to the 8, 1 minus 2 is 1530. You guys could verify that. This one's cool. If you put a penny in a piggy bank on day 1, and then 2 pennies on day 2, 4 pennies on day 3, 8, 16, and keep doing that for 31 days, will you be a millionaire? Doesn't seem likely, but let's verify it. So the initial value is 1. You got 1 penny, and you're doubling it, so that's your R. You get 31 days, so n is 31. So A1 minus A1R to the 31, 1 minus R. Will you be a millionaire? No, you're just dealing with pennies. How could you possibly be a millionaire? It's impossible. It's impossible. Well, this is how many pennies I have. So 100 pennies is $1. So let's divide that by 100. And whoa, 2147, 4836.47 dollars. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Not bad. 21 million. Save your pennies. All right. That's it for today, guys. And that is going to finish up chapter 9b. I mean, the rest of these are just, not sure how that happened. The rest of these are just some practice problems. Thanks for tuning in.